I don't know about you, Plex, but they have gotten better. You get Judon, who's for sure, he's going to give you 10, 12 sacks if he's healthy. And how the hell was Justin Simmons still a free agent and we mid-August? I really, really like the Falcons adding Judon and Simmons. Judon in the trade with the Patriots. Simmons is a free agent. Man, I got them. I got the Falcons winning that division now. I really do. And it wasn't like the division was tough to begin with. I think the Falcons, Raheem Morris said, hey, man, check this out. My first go as a head coach, man, I didn't do the things that I wanted to do. This dude right out the gate is solid. The Falcons went in the division, man. What Judon and Justin Simmons, I really like the moves. Your thoughts?
I believe so. I mean, I really do. That's one of the Achilles heels that's been for the Atlanta Falcons probably over the last decade is that defensively they couldn't stop anybody. They could score some points, and they play well at home. They play well indoors. But for this division, which is really it's the worst division in football, let's just call it that. Between the Carolina Panthers, they'll probably come in last. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now
the Saints.
And the Saints. You could say that either one of three of those teams would win in this division. But now that you add Judon defensively and you add Simmons, now you're talking about a team that you can put out on the field on Sundays and compete. And I think they are going to win the division. I think Kirk Cousins is going to come in there. He's going to play well. I don't think he's going to be, great. I think he's going to play well enough in his first year in his offense under Raheem, not turn the football over, trying to find a way to get, Kyle Pitts more involved in his offense, and also Bijan Robinson. If you can get the ball to him at least 15, 20 times a game, I think you have an elite, offense. He can make this offense that great because I believe he's kind of a carbon copy of what Christian McCaffrey is if you really want to, get the ball in this young man's hands. So I think with the additions, I think flat out that the Falcons win the division. But now it's just, how good can they be? And I think, right now moving forward, I think everybody's going to be asking the same question. How is Kirk Cousins going to play? What's going to happen if he doesn't play well? And that being that you drafted Michael Penix Jr., he's sitting there. He can come out, he can come in and play. And with this defense, I don't believe those offenses in that NFC South division are really that explosive. So I got to tip my hat to the Falcons to win the NFC South now.
Yeah, I like the Falcons as well. And Kirk Cousins has never been the mobile quarterback. Kirk Cousins is using his head and his arm and letting his playmakers make plays. I believe he'll be fine coming off the Achilles. I believe Kyle Pitts will get back to what he was as a rookie. I believe Drake London will now show why he was a top 10 pick. Bijan Robinson will show why he was a top 10 pick. Those are three skilled guys that the Falcons drafted in the top 10. And so offensively, we felt like with Kirk Cousins, they were going to be good, but they were going to have to outscore people. Now you add the pass rusher, because when they drafted Penix, and if Kirk Cousins goes down, okay, we got our first-round draft pick, Michael Penix, who is older, who played a ton of snaps at Indiana and Washington in college, so he'll be ready to go if need be. When they drafted Michael Penix, everybody said, oh, what are the Falcons doing? They should have drafted an edge rusher. They should have drafted Dallas Turner. They should have drafted Laiatu Latu. They got their edge rusher now, a proven edge rusher. And, he's 31. Man, listen, man. You give me 10, 12 sacks, you can be 41. I don't care how old you give me 10 to 12 sacks, Judon. Give me. And now, if you have Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates in the back of your defense, that's the best safety combo in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. You have A.J. Terrell as a corner, one of the better corners in the league. So you have an edge rusher that's going to get pressure, and if they're going to have to double him. You have that back end in the secondary of guys that can really play. The Falcons have gotten better by making two moves that we could almost say everybody in the National Football League could have made these deals. Simmons was a free agent. Judon was available on the trade. I like what the Falcons are doing. They're going to run away with this division, bro. Unless the Bucs, Baker Mayfield improve a ton, I could see New Orleans presenting a problem if Carr is the Carr that we saw with the Raiders, because defensively with Dennis Allen and that defense, Cam Jordan and them boys, they're going to present problems. They've always been a really good defensive team. Last year, they just kind of faltered on both sides of the ball. But I like the Falcons to run away with this. And it's going to be – this is always a couple teams every season. Where they come from. Oh, they weren't in the playoffs. And I believe the Falcons and the Chicago Bears, and it may be another one, but those will be teams that weren't in the playoffs last year that may surprise some people and get in the playoffs this year. But, again, we both believe the Falcons now are going to win that division. And so I just look forward to seeing how this is going to happen. Like, once the preseason starts, now I'm ready now for the regular season. Like, I'm ready. I'm glad it's 3 games because now it just starts to come. It comes a little sooner. So, yeah, we going to get into that as the season goes on, the playoffs, this team, that team. I know one thing that John Lynch, the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, his representation, they need to, have a little sense of urgency. And John Lynch said, the team does feel the urgency to get an Ayuk deal done. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break. That's Plaxico Burris. I'm TJ Houshmandzadeh. Fox Sports Radio, Up on Game. We'll be right back. And as I said before we went to break, so much promise, so much anticipation of what his rookie year would look like. And we didn't even know, would he start from the outset? Would he sit X amount of games? We didn't. Nobody knew if JJ McCarthy was going to be the day one starter or if Sam Darnold was going to start. Would he play? We didn't know that. But what we do know is we won't see him at all his rookie season. He had a meniscus surgery, and they announced that he will be out for the season, which is a surprise because we know when you have a meniscus, could be as short as 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe 10. And I don't believe they wanted to chance it, so they ruled him out for the season, put him on IR so he can, regardless of what happens, doesn't matter if the rehab goes great, he can no longer play this season. What is your take on that? Do you believe it's smart for the Vikings? Let's elaborate on the Minnesota Vikings, JJ McCarthy out for the season.
You know what? I honestly believe that the Minnesota Vikings planned to start JJ McCarthy on opening day. Wow. I think they bought in Sam Darnold to be a little insurance policy for JJ McCarthy, because I don't believe that you really bring Sam Darnold in to really lead this football team. I think that JJ McCarthy is somebody Sam Darnold can learn from, being a veteran quarterback, being a journeyman quarterback, and having some success in this league. Let's not forget he was the number 1 pick. He never really got to that elite level of, some of the top tier quarterbacks in this league. But, he's respected, and, he's not really just going to go out and, he's going to go out and manage football games. So I kind of think this is a step back for the Minnesota Vikings because, now going into the following season, what do? Are you going to bring back a Sam Darnold? Are you going to try to find another quarterback just in case he's not 100% healthy? And if he is 100% healthy on opening day, how's he going to look? And I just think, for this young group of wide receivers, Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson, it kind of, sets them back also, because now they're going to be playing a year with a quarterback and Sam Darnold who won't be their quarterback after this season. So it's a setback for them, because if JJ McCarthy does come back, he's a starting quarterback, he's still going to be a rookie. Maybe not so much from a mental standpoint, because he can still learn on the sideline. Sometimes that's the best teacher, for young players, being able to sit and watch and learn. But from a physical standpoint of going out, and making those throws and putting that ball where your only the receiver can get it. Are you and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on the same page? So I think he's still going to be a rookie from a performance standpoint, but the fact that he has two stud wide receivers, I think that'll help